Ooh, slipped off the tee pad. That is gone. That is absolutely gone. That's in the road. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we are at Johnson Park in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I don't know much about this course, but it's another wet and beautiful morning in Michigan, so make sure you grab a couple extra hand towels, grab your phone, take some pictures, and let's go toss some plastic. All right, guys, we've made it to hole 1 at Johnson Park. We're starting off with a pretty simple 300-foot hyzer shot with all the room in the world out to the right. Definitely too wide. This is a hole I feel like I should have gotten closer to the basket, but hey, it is the first hole of the day. We have about a 42-foot putt for the birdie. Oh, good run. Hole 1 par, we take it every time. Hole 2, 311 feet, dead straight with the left finish. This is quite a bit uphill though. I'm guessing it plays more around 350, so I am gonna disc up, throw the boss, because I know that's about where the distance will max out for it. Oof, little roll, but not bad. Really happy with this drive. The boss, as always, is very predictable. We have about a 17-footer uphill for the 2. Oh no. Well, after that highly unfortunate roll away, we still have about 15 feet for the par. Hole 3, it's only 205 feet, but it's quite a bit uphill and it's an actual horseshoe left. I'm gonna go with the splice. I don't know if that's the best option, but we're about to find out. I'm sure that's a mile short. All right, guys, that was a horrible disc selection. We're not even close. We still have about 75 feet way uphill for the birdie. All right, we'll take that. For the par, I let this man pass earlier. He had his young son with him, maybe 4 years old. He had a disc in his hand, and he would send his son up the fairway to be the spotter on like every hole, because obviously it's really easy to lose a disc here. I've never seen someone do that. We did have a laugh about it, but let me know, does anyone use their kids as spotters? Because if so, I might have to think about having one. Hole 4, 222 feet, dead straight, but we are throwing over this pretty big valley here, which is super cool. I am throwing a disc that I just put in the bag, the Innova Scorpion from the Japan Open. Oh, I think we hit the pole. Very good shot. For the birdie, hole 5, 235 feet, slight ante shot, and we are finally starting to go back downhill. I didn't want to block the camera, but I hope that was pretty good. Well, guys, it's been a long time since I've played a lot of elevation holes, and it sure is showing. Not the greatest drive, leaving ourselves about a 25-foot big ante putt for the birdie. Oh, good run. For the par, hole 6, 203 feet, way uphill into the tunnel of light. This has been one of the coolest courses I've played in a while. Oh, I think we almost skipped in the basket. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you guys, I haven't hit one yet, but this Kotuku is ready for its first ace or long throw-in. All right, guys, we have hole 18. Come on, Hunter. All right, guys, take 2, hole 7. I just played it to the complete wrong basket. It's 330 feet. This is pretty much a sidearm lane only. There is a hyzer lane, but you'd have to throw it to the moon. This is a good hole to lose a disc on, so hopefully we can focus up and get a good shot. I don't think that's very good. All right, guys, we've just gone to hole 8. I have no idea what's going on hole 7. The T-pad shows a hyzer lane that I couldn't really see and a sidearm lane that doesn't exist. The sidearm lane is actually the hyzer lane. It's a really simple hole, but the T sign makes it seem very confusing. The scepter is gone. I just spent 30 minutes looking for it. Hopefully we can bounce back. We have hole 8, 299 feet, dead straight through a very tight tunnel, but you want to finish right. All right, hopefully we made it out. The Valkyrie almost fought its way out, but we still have about a 40-foot uphill ante-putt for the 2. For the par. Hole 9, 308 feet, pretty standard uphill hyzer shot. From the tee pad, you can't tell at all that this tree is guarding the basket so much. So if you play here, you really want to go with like a low skip to be able to actually get yourself a nice birdie putt. But we still have about 25 feet through this tree for the 2. Couldn't even run that one, sadly. Definitely on the par train today. Hole 9 break, I'm gonna keep this one really light and simple. I just wanna know, which course have you guys played that has the most elevation change? Playing this course, it's been nothing but up and down every single hole, and it reminds me of when I was in Salt Lake City, I played a course called Solitude. And Solitude is actually a ski resort, but in the summer they go down the mountain and they set up baskets. It's one of the most surreal experiences you will ever have. I think it starts at around 9,000-ish feet of elevation. I could be wrong on that, but where they get you is they can tell you to hike up the mountain, or you can pay $40 to take the chairlift up. I would recommend, if you're going there as a vacation or just a good time, just pay the money, take the chairlift. Hole 18 at Solitude, I think, is 1,300 feet, and it has, give or take, like 400 feet of elevation loss. You are literally throwing down the side of the mountain. You will never forget playing that hole, and you will also probably never find the disc that you just threw. But overall, it's a really good experience. I do hope to get back there. I've played there a handful of times, and it never gets less exciting. Hole 10, 263 feet. It is a hidden basket. You want to hold a slight ante shot the whole way. Finally, a much needed birdie. Hole 11, 235 feet, downhill. You just want a really touchy hyzer shot, and I'm guessing if you overthrow it, your disc could go a mile past. Uh-oh. To be completely honest with you guys, I'm not sure how the disc ended up right here, but we still have about 45 feet for the 2. Oh no. Well, no sweet putt so far today, guys. Hole 12, 196 feet, dead straight through the woods. A bad tree kick here could make for a bad day. Fortunate little tree kick there, but honestly it could have been much worse, so I'm not too upset with it. We have about a 43-foot downhill putt for the 2. Let's go. Needed that. Let's turn this round around. Like I said earlier, guys, I just put that Innova Scorpion in the bag. I am thinking about starting to do some disc reviews. I do read and pay attention to your guys' comments, and I think the Scorpion might be the first one, so stay tuned. Hole 13, 194 feet. And honestly, guys, there's not much of a fairway on this hole. As you can see, you can try to go dead straight. There is kind of this backdoor ante lane. I'm gonna take the ante lane with the Waka Waka. The Waka Waka kind of worked out. Honestly, I didn't have any expectations. I didn't really see a true line on this hole. We still have about 30 feet for the 2. It was a low ceiling. Pars for days. Hole 14, 131 feet, meat hook right, uphill. The beginning of this course started very strong and I was in love with it. These holes at the end are starting to feel a bit silly to me, I'm not gonna lie. Horrible throw, but that should be a putt. Somehow we made it up here. We only have about 20 feet for the birdie. Nice putt. Hole 15, 261 foot, completely blind hyzer shot. I really wish I had the Scepter right now, but we're gonna go with the Kotuku. I have no idea if that's good or not. It came up quite a bit short, but luckily we do have this little putting window here. We have about 31 feet for the birdie. Let's go, the putting's starting to save us now. All right guys, I want you to let me know, where are you located and what kind of weather are you playing in? Here in Michigan, this time of year, it's very wet, ton of dew in the morning, and as soon as that sun pops up, the humidity goes through the roof. I'm already very sticky and moist. It's pretty unpleasant, but you guys let me know, what do you deal with when you go out to the round? Hole 16, basically the same as hole 15, 262 feet, downhill, big hyzer shot, completely blind. I'm gonna go with the Scorpion this time because why not? All right, let's go see if that was all right. Honestly, the Scorpion probably came in at a pretty decent spot, but we just slid way downhill. We have about 32 feet uphill for the birdie. For the par, hole 17, 313 feet, way uphill. I can barely see the top of the basket, and if that's not 17, that's what we're playing to. I threw that as hard as I could. Really good drive, guys. That definitely plays a lot longer than 313. I threw my boss absolutely as hard as I could. We have about a 15-footer for the two. Nice. And rounding off Johnson Park, we have hole 18, 487 feet, way downhill. This is a really awesome hole to end the round on. The wind is really picked up, so I'm gonna go understable and I'm gonna send the Corvette. Ooh, slipped off the tee pad. That is gone. That is absolutely gone. That's in the road. And on that note, that'll wrap up today's video. And that wraps up today's video at Johnson Park in Grand Rapids. And guys, honestly, I'm really struggling with this one. The first handful, 5 or 6 holes were absolutely amazing. I was super pumped up, very beautifully laid out. But as I got into the back, it was just blind hyzer shot after blind hyzer shot. The tee pads are all concrete and they're huge. The baskets are older, but they're in really good condition, and there's perfect signage to get you from hole to hole throughout the course. This is definitely a course that gets more fun the more you play it. If you're like me, a passerby, and you're just stopping in, playing it blind, it's gonna cause some headache. There's a good chance you might lose a disc. You're definitely gonna look for discs, and it can be a rough time. Overall, I'd give Johnson Park the solid score of 7 out of 10. There's some good and there's some bad. If you're a solo coming through looking for a quick course to play, I would avoid this at all costs. If you have a couple buddies, more eyes on the discs, you'll have a really good time playing Johnson Park, and there's some pretty amazing views, especially in Michigan. It's not very often that you get to be up this high. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Now it's your turn to go toss some plastic.